Whatever it is, I'll take care of him. You hit the second target.
I know the old man.
Halfway through Season 4, Slow Horses has at last exposed more about its antagonist, Frank Harkness, Hugo Weaving, as well as his possible relationship to Slough House agent River Cartwright, Jack Lowden, and former MI5 agent David Cartwright, Jonathan Price. Two violent incidents transpire in Episode 1 of Slow Horses Season 4. First, a man posing as Robert Winters from MI5 sets off an automobile bomb in the West Acres shopping mall. Later that evening, an assassin breaks into David's house posing as River, which drives the older Cartwright to shoot and kill his grandson's lookalike. Slow Horses tells River what transpired by the end of the episode. Still quite alive, he takes advantage of his dead lookalike. After disfiguring the would-be killer with his grandfather's revolver and laying his ID at the scene, River follows the dead man's tracks. Although most of the second episode leaves viewers guessing exactly why River visits France, it is soon evident that the small town of La Vendée has lethal secrets. River discovers an abandoned compound on the outskirts of town that relates to Frank's sinister past and current conspiracy. River finds proof of child soldiers in Frank Harkness' Les Arbres compound. After staging his death to gain time and evade Diana Taverner's, Kristen Scott Thomas, suspicions, River travels to La Vendée, France, and discovers a property named Les Arbres. Particularly when River's research turns up unexpected hints, Taverner's cover-up in Slow Horses Season 4, Episode 2, is far from the only exciting story development. River breaks into the compound by climbing an ivy-covered fence and shattering the glass on a door. Les Arbres appears abandoned from River's perspective, which motivates him to investigate even if viewers know Frank Harkness is hiding nearby. River comes upon a picture of Frank and many other men on a hunting expedition, all roughly River's age. Inside Les Arbres, everything from children's prams and toys to gunshot casings and books on war spills off the floor and cabinet surfaces, though things get clearer when River discovers a picture of Frank and several other men. All around River's age, on a hunting trip, it is still a very unsettling mix of items. Frank interrupts River's research by emerging from the shadows and attempting to strangle the young MI5 agent. Frank manages to set Les Arbres on fire, even though a third party, who was trailing River, takes him from the compound. River believes that Frank attacked him only because he happened to be in the wrong location at the wrong time. Frank was obviously eager to eliminate any proof of his past activity at Les Arbres. Still, the fact that River discovered weapons and personal items clearly indicates that Frank raised child soldiers on the property. In Slow Horses Season 4, Episode 3, Bertrand's mother expresses Frank's plan. In Slow Horses Season 4, Episode 3, River learns more about Bertrand, the man who attempted to assassinate David Cartwright from none other than Bertrand's mother. Victor, the lone person standing by Bertrand's mother, rescued River from Les Arbres. As it happens, the pair believes River is up to no good and bears a striking resemblance to Bertrand. According to the Slough residence agent, Bertrand broke into his grandfather's house with the intention of killing the elderly man. Bertrand was on the receiving end of David's shotgun. Frank wanted his boys to be raised as soldiers in a remote, patriarchal setting. Strangely enough, Victor is not shocked to learn of Bertrand's terrible death. He attributes it to the late young man's father, Frank Harkness. Bertrand's mother said that in the late 1980s and early 1990s, Frank brought numerous women to Les Arbres, impregnated them, and raised their sons. Once the boys were old enough, Frank drove their mothers out of the compound. Looking agonized, Bertrand's mother informs River that's how he wanted it. The admission all but validates the doubts expressed in Episode 2. Frank intended to raise his boys as soldiers in a remote, patriarchal setting. Though it only touches the surface of Frank Harkness's cunning intentions, the third episode does expose more about the ensemble of characters for Slow Horses Season 4. Frank's plots were obviously long in development. Bertrand appeared to have killed David Cartwright while serving his father. Still to be seen, though, is whether Robert Winters, the West Acres bomber, was acting out another aspect of Frank's plan, or if he had gone rogue. Winters did refer to his brothers, implying in a pre-recorded film that the more general plot in La Vendée's Les Arbres was underway. How is River Cartwright connected to Frank Harkness in Slow Horses? As of the third episode, the exact nature of River Cartwright's relationship with Frank Harkness remains unclear. Regardless of how faithfully Slow Horses portrays MI5, the spy thriller offers numerous intriguing twists. Frank's desire to kill the Cartwright men clearly goes beyond River's simple presence at the wrong moment. David, the previous MI5 chief, developed several adversaries. Though David never worked as an agent in France, he did send his bagman, basically a staff officer, to Lavande in the 1990s, suggesting a more major disclosure to come in Slow Horses.